Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gram Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. We'd like to welcome all of our YouTube Live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live, and our listeners over Zoom. Welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We welcome you to this Japa Workshop, Day 8. Before we move on, we'd like to congratulate and thank the devotees who have participated in yesterday's quiz session. We'd like to thank Mother Flavia. We thank Sarojamukhi Indulekha Mataji, Hari Prasad Prabhu, Anjudi, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Nutan Purohit Mataji, and her two wonderful sons, Rishikesh and Anirudh. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for participating in this quiz so enthusiastically, and especially Rishikesh and Anirudh, thank you for taking so much interest and, participating in the quiz. Thank you so much, Peter. Haribol.
Can we have the slideshow, please? Yesterday we covered Nishtha, which is the fifth stage of our devotional life, firm faith, established as an irrevocable fact. Today we'll cover the next two stages, Ruchi and Asakti, which are the sixth and seventh processes of Bhakti. So today we will look at Japa Affirmations 13 and 14. We talk about what is the state of Ruchi, what are the different kinds of Ruchi, difference in Ruchi and Asakti, and then we focus on the fourth verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is at the level, of Siksastakam, which is at the level of Ruchi. And then spontaneous absorption in Asakti, what is the behavior of one in Asakti. Then we talk about the eighth offense of the holy name, and how can we fearlessly be dependent on the holy name of Krishna. Finally, we discuss ways of not chanting japa. Next slide, please. We talk about affirmations 13 and 14. Affirmation 13 says, I meditate on the meaning of the holy names as I chant. Our acharyas have given so many different meanings for the holy names, and each meaning contains so many different emotions. So, Srila Prabhupada, for example, he gave us the meaning, O Radhe, O devotional energy of Krishna. O Krishna, I am embarrassed by this material world. Please engage me in your loving service. Other acharyas like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has said the meaning of the holy name is Krishna, make me qualified to serve you. Krishna, please accept me. Krishna, please purify me. All these different meanings. So this affirmation, which says, I meditate on the meaning of the holy names as I chant, means that I'm conscious on an emotional level of what the Mahamantra means. I'm feeling the meaning of the Mahamantra. It's not like as we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna please accept me, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna please purify me, Hare Krishna, Hare. That it doesn't mean that we speak like that, meditate, because then devotees are confused. What am I supposed to meditate on? Am I supposed to meditate on listening or meditate on the meaning? You're changing the goalpost. First you said meditate on listening to the Mahamantra. Now you're saying meditate on the meaning of the holy names. Well, it's the same thing. We don't, what it means is we don't chant in a blank, feelingless state. While we are chanting, we have a feeling, an emotion accompanied by this. So we should be emotionally in sync. What does it mean? We should be emotionally in sync with the mantra while we are chanting. For example, if someone is talking to us about something serious and important, that someone in my family has left this body, and they're talking about them, and we are just smiling, and then not only that, we are laughing in the middle. What does that convey? This means we are disconnected from the mood of the conversation. We are completely disconnected on an emotional level. Similarly, when we chant, when we are chanting, if we are just blankingly saying something, that means we are disconnected. We are saying, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, please accept me. Please make me qualified to serve you. But if we are just chanting in a blank state, then does that convey that meaning? So we must be emotionally connected to the mood of the meaning while chanting. Now, if we want to understand where are we in sync with the mood? Try one thing. This has helped us a lot. Try out recording our chanting one round. Just on the phone, nowadays, every phone has a recorder. Just record your chanting. And don't chant for the recorder. Chant for Krishna, but chant the way you generally chant. Don't artificially make up, because now I'm being recorded, let me be very cautious. No, chant the way you would. And then lay back the chanting that you've recorded, our own chanting, and listen to our moods. What is the feeling that our recording is conveying? Is it conveying devotion? Is it conveying boredom? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama. Or is it excitement? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or is it botheration? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or is it devotion? Hare Krishna, are you crying? Is it conveying that helpless feeling? Because that is, Krishna is listening. He's also listening to our feeling as we are chanting. We are chanting Hare Krishna, but what are we conveying, that mood? That is what we need to improve upon if we can.
Wonderful. So the 14th affirmation is, I relish chanting the holy names. This affirmation is affirming, it is confirming that we want to be in the consciousness that chanting is so sweet. It is precious. It is extremely special. I am grateful for the opportunity to chant. Although chanting is relishable at the stage of Ruchi, which we are going to be discussing today. Chanting will become relishable only at that stage. But we still want to be in the consciousness that now at least, Krishna, you are allowing me to chant. For that, I'm eternally indebted to you. I feel so fortunate. And therefore, I am relishing that you are appearing on my tongue and you're dancing. So therefore, I'm relishing this chanting the holy names. That should be the mood when we are chanting. Next slide, please.
So today we discuss the 6th stage of chanting, which is Ruchi, and also later we will also discuss about the 7th stage, which is Asakti. So let's talk about Ruchi first. After the stage of Nishtha, firm faith, the devotee, he is carrying in his heart the golden medallion of bhakti, which has been so much burnt by the fire of study practice that gold has become so shiny. It has its own unique splendor. Next slide, please. And that golden medallion, which is burnt by the fire of study practice, is experiencing the awakening of Ruchi, or pure spiritual taste, just like honey, pure honey. At that time, the sadhaka feels so much distinct delight. And when Ruchi is awakened, a person does not even the slightest trace of fatigue. When we hear and chant, is eager all the time, not eager sometime and then little bored, then again eager, then again bored. No, he's eager again and again, no fatigue, no tiredness. He can keep on hearing and chanting 24 hours. So this Ruchi, it quickly makes the devotee addicted to this practice of Shravana, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, the 9 limbs of bhakti. So, and this constant attachment to the practice of bhakti leads to the attachment to the Lord. That is Asakti. Next slide, please. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, here we can see the devotees are so much attached to Harinam Sankirtan. Next slide, please. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Jiva Goswami has said, Ruchi Rabhilasha Kintu Buddhi Purvakam, which means Ruchi is attachment to the processes, it's a desire, but it's guided by one's intelligence, Buddhi Purvakam. Whereas Asakti, later we will understand, it's guided by spontaneous absorption. So at this stage of Ruchi, we have to, with our intelligence, make us to chant. We are addicted to the process, but our intelligence saying, oh, let me just go and chant. But in Asakti, we don't even have to drive the intelligence to do it. So before the stage of Ruchi, we are able to fully relish Krishna's topics, but at the stage of Ruchi, these topics become very madhurya, sweet. Next slide, please. Why they become so delectable and sweet? Because at the stage of Ruchi, the seed of sinful activity is completely destroyed. And therefore, we are able to begin this experiencing the sweetness of bhajan. Even in Nishtha, we are experiencing, but not fully able to relish, because there is some aparad, some anarthas still there. But here, the anarthas may still be there till the time of bhava, but the seed of sinful activity is completely destroyed at Ruchi. So that's why we can relish the taste of bhajan. Next slide, please.
So now we come to the two kinds of stages of ruchi. It is said that ruchi or taste is of two types. Ruchi that is dependent on external excellence in relation to Krishna, which means vastu vaishishtya apekshini, means it is dependent, on some external excellence. And the second one is that ruchi, the taste that is not dependent on any external excellence in relation to Krishna. So here in the first one, vastu refers to the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. And vishishtya refers to their external excellence. For example, we can understand this very easily with a beautiful example. If we can anticipate a pleasing and a very sweet melody in kirtan, very nice tune, we can be very eager to hear a description of the transcendental characteristics and pastimes of Krishna that is expressed, by a particular speaker, by a particular way it is being told. And we are very, very attracted to that in terms of place, time, person, purity of ingredients, etc. So this kind of ruchi that develops in a person who is dependent on external excellence is called as vastu vaishishtya apekshani ruchi. Means, another way of understanding it is that when one person is not so hungry, if a person is not so hungry, then with very little appetite, one will think, oh, with this, how many items are there? Acha, You didn't make that sabji? You didn't have this particular sabji? Oh, you have only chapatis, you don't have parathas? Oh, you have this thing? Oh, you don't have that thing? All these questions will start coming into a mind who is a person of a mind who is not feeling so much appetite, who is not having so much appetite. We start giving some reasons, some external things which are dependent on, us feeling hungry or not. But on the other hand, if a person is very, very hungry, next slide, please. If a person is extremely hungry, he will not ask any questions. Even if he is given just plain rice, he will just gobble it down. So whether it is tasty or not, that person will just eat whatever is given. In the same way, any strong way of bhakti, if one of the limbs of bhakti is it's not carrying out the expectation that we have. Oh, the melody of the kirtan should be very good, the prasadam taste should be fantastic, or these requirements, pre-requirements are not there, that whoever is giving class, we are listening because it is the word of Krishna. Whoever is singing, we are listening to the chanting of the holy names. We are attached to the holy names, not to the tune. So these are the two kinds of ruchi that we must be able to distinguish. That if we are just attached to listening only Krishna Katha, doesn't matter, who is speaking it, where it is being spoken, how it is being spoken. And in that sense, then that is the second kind of ruchi, which is not dependent on any external situation. We are just attached. Only we just have the taste to listen only, or to taste Krishna Prasad only, oblivious of the fact that there's no other conditions attached to it. So these are the two kinds of ruchi that we see. But then what is asakti? Next slide, please. Asakti is that whether the prasadam has chappan bhog or whether it is just plain rice, it is actually focused on what is, with Krishna. What is Krishna liking? The focus of the attachment is on the object of the worship, which is Sri Krishna. It is not based on my taste, how much taste I am getting while chanting. You see, ruchi is, one very distinguishing factor between ruchi and asakti is that ruchi is still on the stage of little bit of selfishness, that I am concerned with my tasting it. The taste of the pudding is in the eating, the honey is sweet, tasting to me. I'm not even now concerned how is Krishna feeling about it. As soon as we start thinking about Krishna, when the attachment from, or the focus is shifted from myself to Krishna, ruchi becomes asakti. Taste becomes attachment to Krishna. That is the difference. So asakti means developing that attachment on the object of worship. That is Sri Krishna himself. That time we will not see whether we are, liking, oh, you know what? I don't like Karela. This bitter sabji, I don't like it. Oh no, Krishna likes it. Lord Chaitanya likes it. I have to like it. We can see this happening. We can see this happening in so many, different people of the, world with different palates. They are all eating after becoming devotees. They are developing the taste to eat like how it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. What did Lord Chaitanya like? What did Srila Prabhupada like to eat? So devotees learn to cook like that. Oh, kachoris Srila Prabhupada loves. Let's make kachoris for Prabhupada. Let's make Karela for Prabhupada. I may not like bitter, but Srila Prabhupada likes bitter. That is asakti. That is attachment. When we stop thinking about ourselves and we think about the object of our worship.
Next slide, please. So it talks about the difference in Ruchi and Asakti. As we can see, there are some buds here, flower buds, and some of are still leaves. They are not. They're about to blossom. So Asakti is when the buds start forming. Ruchi is when the green ones, the buds are being formed. That's Ruchi. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he describes the symptom of the stage of Ruchi. Ruchi, the object, is towards the limb of bhajana. Although in both stages, Ruchi and Asakti, there is Shravanam, Kirtanam, and there is the aspect of pleasing Krishna. But in Ruchi, the focus is more on the process, Shravanam and Kirtanam, and less on the object. Whereas in Asakti, that hearing and chanting has become so thick and dense that now only thing we can focus on is direct attachment to Krishna, not through the process. I mean, through the process, but the focus is not the process. So, this is the difference between Ruchi and Asakti. As we see, there is a cluster of buds which are visible on a vine before it blossoms with flowers and bears fruit. These buds, they indicate that flowers and fruits will soon appear. Bhava and prema will soon appear on the vine. Similarly, the appearance of this asakti indicates very quickly that this bhakti kalpalata will yield the flower of bhava and the fruit of prema. Next slide, please.
So now we come to the fourth verse of the Sri Siksastakam. Of the 8 verses that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu has given, the fourth verse actually describes Ruchi and Asakti. Na dhanam na janam na sundari kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahaitu tvayi.
O Radha, Krishna, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women or any number of followers. I only want your devotional service, birth after birth. This is a prayer at the platform of Ruchi, that I don't want anything. I just want your devotional service, birth after birth after birth. Shri Siksastakam ki jai, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Next slide, please.
Now we come to the path of understanding what is spontaneous absorption. So the stage of asakti that possesses another feature that distinguishes it from the stage of ruchi. You see, at the stage of ruchi, the devotee uses his intelligence to draw the mind away from the sense of objects and places it at the lotus feet of Krishna. But at the stage of asakti, the sadhaka's mind becomes absorbed in Krishna very easily without any ending.
So that means at the stage of Ruchi, mind is still not our friend, because through intelligence it needs to be brought in. At the stage of Asakti, the mind has started becoming our friend. So we should understand when to hear the mind, when not. Until we come to the stage of Asakti, we should not hear the mind. We should always try to subdue it by different processes and not trust the mind. Next slide, please.
So, and this is asakti, when the attachment is just directed to the lotus feet of Krishna, in just focusing on the attributes of Krishna. The mind, it just helplessly gets attracted towards Krishna and its topics related to Krishna. That time we understand that when our mind is just wanting to hear only the name, fame, the form, the qualities, and the pastimes of Krishna, that is asakti. So this is how we understand the way that, there is the difference between Ruchi and Asakti. Next slide, please. So now we come to Sri Bhakthavatsala Krishna.
This shows us that Krishna is Bhaktavatsala. He's affectionate to his devotees. So what is it that is stopping us from surrendering to Krishna? If we surrender, he'll become affectionate to us. Prabhupada says, we fail to surrender to Krishna because we doubt. Is Krishna a person? Is he actually non-different from his holy name? Is he especially a person who loves his devotees? We do not have faith in Krishna being Bhaktavatsala because our faith, which is put in all these material things, materialistic people, as well as material things, has been slashed again and again and again. And we project the same thing on Krishna. That so many people have given me deceit. Is Krishna also trying to cheat me? Is Krishna really loving? Is he really favor me? So that makes us fail
And
to surrender to
fearful.
Krishna.
It also makes us very, very fearful. It stops us from surrendering completely to Krishna. And as is said by Lord Ramachandra himself in the Ramayana, in the Yuddha Khanda, in 18.33, Lord Ramachandra says, next slide, please. Lord Ramachandra, he says that if anyone comes to me, and even one time he says, my dear Lord, I am yours. I am taking shelter at your lotus feet. I promise for all time to come that I will not leave you, my Lord.
Sakrideva prapanno yas tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadamyetat vratam mama. Here Ramachandra is saying, Tavasmi iti cha yachate. One who says, Tava asmi, Tavasmi, I am yours. Let us all with feeling pray with folded hands. Tavasmi, 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 I am yours. Then, just if someone says once, Tavasmi iti cha yachate, Abhayam sarvada tasmai, I give him fearlessness forever, sarvada. Dadami etat vratam mama, this is my vow.
My
Sri
promise.
Ramachandra ki jai. He actually said this when Vibhishan came. Vibhishan with his associates came to surrender to Lord Ramachandra. At that time, all the associates of Lord Ram had doubts on Vibhishan. Vriksharaj, as well as Sugriva were saying, could it be another clever plan by Ravana? Could it be he sent his younger brother Vibhishan to gain our trust, and then he will give all of our secret information to him? He has come as a spy, and then after that, Vibhishan, Lord Ramachandra told Vibhishan, he was in the air, he had flown, and his associates had flown from there. And Lord Ramachandra told, wait, I will get back to you. And so Vibhishan and his associates were hanging in the air with this petition, we want to surrender to you. And Lord Ramachandra, with all the important warriors, went inside the cave, and they had an Ishtagoshti. They had a discussion. Lord Ramachandra asked Sugriva, what do you think? He said, well, I think this is a plan of Ravana. We should not allow him in our camp. And then he asked Vriksharaj that, Jambavan, what do you think? He said, well, I think this could be a plan of Krishna. He does seem sincere, but it could be a plan of Krishna. And let us not forget, even if he's sincere now, what is the guarantee that he'll be sincere on the battlefield when he sees his his nephews and relatives being killed, it's not easy to stop the calling of the blood of our bloodline. Maybe at that time he will change his sides. By then he will know all of our secrets. What then? It was very wise, but at the same time, everyone's was against. And Lord Ramachandra did not give his decision. He was simply hearing and asking. This is the sign of a true leader. Shri Hanumanji was sitting silent. So Lord Ramachandra asked, Hanumanji, what do you think? Hanuman said, I don't know. I really don't agree with others. I think Vibhishan is very sincere. And I think he's sincerely surrendering to you forever. Because when I was in Lanka, searching for Mother Sita, at some place I heard the name Ram, Ram, Ram being chanted from one of the houses. This was the house of Vibhishan. And I understood the way he was chanting, the emotional connection he had, the spiritual connection, the mood in which he was chanting. I was very, very much inspired. I think we can safely consider him our ally. Lord Ramachandra then said, after hearing from everyone, yes, this is the line he said. Sakrideva prapanno yes tavasmi iti yachate. Anyone who comes and says, I am yours, I will immediately remove all fear from their heart. And then actually, if you see the next verse in Ramayana, Lord Ramachandra says, what to talk about Vibhishan? If even Ravana comes today and tells me I am yours, take me in your shelter, I will forgive him and give him my shelter.
So this is how Lord Ram, Krishna, they're giving abhaya, they're giving us fearlessness. He's removing, Lord Ramachandra is removing all possible fear from the hearts of the surrendered devotees. He gives them 100% confidence and assurance that he will accept them as his own and never abandon them. He gives us the faith that he will forever take our charge. You see, because, in material nature, through lifetimes after lifetimes, we have always been abandoned. That's the kind of reciprocation we have had. Because it's all very self-centered, all very selfish. We felt abandoned by our family, felt abandoned by our, superiors, our juniors, everyone. We feel that people have abandoned us. So to develop that trust in Krishna is not an easy task. Krishna accepts it, that it is not an easy task. But when we see that what does history show to us, then we can, with some faith, try to come to Krishna with that faith. You see, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, in chapter 8, text 17, Srila Prabhupada, he glorifies Kunti Devi and he says, next slide please, that Kunti Devi is described as being as sati, means chaste, due to her unalloyed devotion to Krishna. Her mind will now be expressed in the following prayers to Krishna. A chaste devotee of the Lord does not look to others, namely any other living being or any other demigod, even for deliverance from danger. You see, this is the point we were discussing yesterday. If we remember that when Draupadi was, humiliated in the Kauravas assembly, she sought shelter of Krishna. But after she sought shelter of Krishna, Krishna immediately came and she didn't have to go anywhere else. Before that, she did. But after she called out to Krishna, she didn't go anywhere else. So, not having any other dependence other than Krishna, the Pandavas, we see that they knew nothing except Krishna. And therefore, Krishna was always there to protect the Pandavas. Next slide, please.
In ninth canto, Krishna says, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Next slide, please.
Aham bhakta paradhino yashvantantra iva dvija sadhubhir grasta hridayo bhaktair bhakta jana priyay. Next slide, please. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent because my devotees are completely devoid of all material desires. I sit only within the cores of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. Next slide, please. So this shows while we are chanting, we should chant understanding that we are the devotee of the devotee of devotees of our spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada. Then we will get easy acceptance.
And thus, Krishna embraces us and completely destroys this aspect of fear from our heart. He completely destroys fear, giving us abhaya. He gives us abhayadan, that he gives us fearlessness once we take shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Next slide, please. So today we will see what is the eighth offense to chanting the holy names of Krishna. The eighth offense is considering the chanting of Hare Krishna to be an auspicious ritualistic activity offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. So there is a difference between chanting and pious activity. To think that chanting is on the same level as any kind of ritualistic activity is offensive.
So if someone gives charity to some charitable organization, and then we say, oh, you are chanting Hare Krishna, I'm giving charity. So it's the same thing. No, that distinction is there. Chanting is the greatest of all activities.
And the rectification is very simple, that we must try to, obtain the knowledge about the holy name so that we can remove this kind of ignorant behavior or ignorant kind of thoughts, so that we can get more enlightened on what the actual glories of the holy names are. And that can come when we, of course, are chanting more and more in the association of loving devotees who can establish and re-establish our faith in the holy names. Next slide, please.
So there are so many ways of not chanting japa. Today we'll see 21 to 24. Window shopping japa. This is while chanting while window shopping. This commonly typically happens when we are making the attempt to knock out some rounds while shopping in the mall. Well, if I sit at one place and I chant, it's so boring. I have to chant anyways. Why not I go into the mall, just roam around, and then while looking at such wonderful, attractive things, knock out a few rounds. Or nowadays, in COVID situation, why not I take my phone, go to Amazon.com and see, oh, what wonderful clothings are there? What gifts can I get for myself, for my children, for my wife and husband? So many things like that. This is window shopping japa, just to kill, just because we don't want to engage in the struggle to bring our mind back to listening. Next slide, please. Sorry.
Stay here.
The 22nd one is boredom japa, where we are so bored while chanting that we feel like, let me kill myself. It's so boring. When we chant japa, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, it's so boring. Why am I made to chant? Okay, all rounds done, my japa is complete. And we just then leave the japa bag as if it's something that we untouchable and we will only touch tomorrow.
Next is relaxing japa. This is like when we are nicely lying down or relaxing in a hammock while we are chanting. Generally it is accompanied by a nice lemonade in our left hand, and now it's winter time, maybe some hot tea, in our left hand, and we are chanting, relaxing japa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Hare Hare. This is relaxing japa. So we must avoid this kind of japa. When we are doing our chanting, it is establishing a relationship with Krishna. So relaxing japa, alka sing japa, no, that's all not supposed to be done. Next is slumber japa. You see, when we are taking this excuse of the japa time to get a very good nap, to take a good nap, because we continually, when we are starting to chant, it is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama, Hare Hare, like this is how, or it's also called as the dive bomb japa, because we are just, as soon as we are dunking our head, we are coming back. Oh yes, but our eyes are not opening, because this is the best medicine that is putting us to sleep like that. So this is called a slumber japa, which we must definitely try to avoid.
Next slide, please. So today we discussed the Japa affirmations, Ruchi and Asakti, and also the 8th offense to the holy name, the 4th verse of Siksastakam, chanting of the holy names. And so we can end the slideshow today. And as today we are focusing on begging our mind to please engage in the service of the Lord, engage in Krishna, we will sing the song Bhajahu Re Mana by Govinda Das Kaviraj.
We'll first just try to read the translation so that we understand the mood of this bhajan.
O mind, just worship the lotus feet of Nanda, which make one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over the ocean of the worldly existence through the association of saintly persons.
Both in the day and at night, I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men.
What assurance of real happiness is there in all one's wealth, youthfulness, sons and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet, Lord Hari.
It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, namely hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to the Lord, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend and completely offering the Lord one's very own self. This is the meaning of the bhajan that we are about to sing.
Bhajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanana Vindare Bhajahure mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanana Vindare Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Tara Hoye Bhava Sindhu
Bhajamune Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Vindari Shikaya Tapa Bhagavanishana Edira Jamini Jagire Sita Tapa Bhagavanishana Edira Jamini Jagire Devale Sevira Kripala Nurajana Devale Sevira Kripala Nurajana Chapala Sukhalapa Bhajamune Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Vindari Ithana Yovana Putra Parijana Ite Kiya Chepara Vidire Ithana Yovana Putra Parijana Ite Kiya Chepara Vidire Kamala Gala Jana Jivana Gala Gala Kamala Gala Jana Jivana Gala Gala Vajramari Pada Vajramari Pada Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Vindari Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dachyare Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dachyare Pujana Sakijana Atmanine Dana Pujana Sakijana Atmanine Dana Govinda Dasavi Lasyati Bhajamune Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Vindari Durlabhamana Janama Satsange Durlabhamana Janama Satsange Dharavoe Bhava Sindhu Bhajamune Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charana Vindari Abhaya Charana Vindari Abhaya Charana Vindari Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki
Jai.
Shri Nandanandana ki
Jai.
Shri Harinam Prabhu ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Srila Gurudev ki
Jai. Hare Krishna. So before we open the lines, we would like to just announce the quiz questions for today.
First, what are the 13th and 14th Japa affirmations? Second, how does a sadhaka feel when he is in the state of Ruchi?
Third, what are the different types of Ruchi? Fourth, what's the difference between Ruchi and Asakti? And when will Ruchi become Asakti?
Fifth, why is Krishna called as Bhakthavatsala?
Sixth, name the eighth offense to avoid while chanting our japa.
Seventh, name 4 ways we should not chant our japa.
Very good. Thank you so much for the wonderful questions. So we can now open.
Garima.
Haribol, Garima.
Haribol, Mataji, Prabhuji, Dhanwad, Pranam, all glories to Shri Gurudev. I liked this class mostly a lot. Like, it was fun, and like I keep laughing so hard when you said, like, the last one which you said, the ways not to chant japa, the fourth one. My dad chants like that.
Sometimes when he's sleeping.
And mostly I like the bubblegum japa. It's so
Oh, thank you, Vijay.
You like to do bubblegum japa, or you like not to do bubblegum japa?
and I like it, the action higher both are doing.
Thank you, Vita. Thank you.
Yeah. I have one question that thing you said that some people say that don't think when you chant. Think you said that. So can we think of Krishna when we're chanting?
Yes, we are thinking, we are listening to Krishna's holy name, and we are feeling that we are calling out to Krishna. So it's all about Krishna. We're thinking about Krishna only, but we are thinking about Krishna in a different way, by hearing and with our feeling.
And can you feel? It's all about feeling. So the feeling should be that, oh, Krishna is dancing. When I'm saying Krishna, Krishna is actually dancing on my tongue. So that is what we need to feel. Feel that. Try to feel that.
Oh, okay, I understand. I wanted to tell you that this song, Bacha Hure Mana, you were singing, I also know that song.
Oh, of course. Hari Bol, Beta. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice. All right. Thank you, Garima. Thank you so much. Savita Madhubi. Hare Krishna, Beta.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavats pranams. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Mataji, yesterday I asked you for the fear. Thank you so much. My heartfelt gratitude to you. I think I was little hurrying to know about it, but still, because I asked today, it got very well registered. What I understood is, see, you were telling about Ruchi and Asakti. See, when we move higher in our spirituality, the seeds of our karma will get burnt. And this fear is, I know that we have to surrender to Krishna. Once I surrender to Krishna, I'm protected. But still, I tell to others, but when it comes to myself, for so many things, I used to have fear in myself. So today I understood all those fear is because of seeds of karma of the past lives and also the past incidents in our life before we got into the Kesi path. So without our knowledge, that subconscious is again surfacing without our knowledge. So when we elevate ourselves in the spiritual progress, like from Ruchi to Asakti, I understood only when we reach the level of Asakti, then the past karma seeds will be burned and we will be able to surrender completely, not only by theory, by practice also. That is with realization. Is it correct, Mataji? I wanted to know about it.
The seeds are also destroyed even in the Ruchi state. Even in the stage of Ruchi, the seeds of sinful reactions are burnt up. Because we develop the taste. Because if the seeds of sinful reactions are there, those anarthas, those gross anarthas are gone at the stage of Ruchi. That's what allows us to taste the sweetness of Krishna consciousness. That is the stage of Ruchi. So at the stage of Ruchi, actually, we, the sinful seeds are gone. The sinful reactions are gone.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji. I'm so relieved. This was really bothering me a lot. Prabhu also, the way he explained how the Rama and Anjaneyas in the Tema. So that really gave me total insight. My heartfelt gratitude to you. It was a wonderful sessions. I'll be always looking forward for 7 a.m. in Indian Standard Time. Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. Dandavats
Thank you, sir.
Prabhuji and Mataji. Hari Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. We are so happy that, yesterday we didn't want to tell you that please wait for today. Um, but still, we wanted to give you some things, but we wanted to give in depth about it today. So we hope that it has been satisfactory.
Yeah, the Bajore Mana. I just want to listen to it as many times as it is possible. All glories
Put
to
in the
Srila
title.
Prabhupada for giving us this wonderful family, expanded family of Krishna consciousness.
Hare
Vasudeva Kutum. Hare Krishna. Dandavats Pranam Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare
Dandavad,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu has a question that when we are doing japa walk, how is it different from, the japa that we discussed today, which is window shopping japa? How is japa walks different from that? Because even when we are doing japa walk, we get distracted by, looking at others or, seeing others and interacting with others.
One time I was going on a Japa walk with my Guru Maharaj, and he said, okay, you can come, but there is one condition, that no talking during Japa. Because sometimes you say, oh, our Guru Maharaj is there, I can ask so many questions while we are walking and then like that. He said, if you can come with me, I like to go alone. If you want to come with me, then no walking, no talking. I said, okay, sure. So we made sure that there was no talking, and it was just Japa. And I saw that he was, while walking, he was looking down, like at an angle down. It wasn't straight up or moving head around. It was just at an angle down. So that could be to avoid window shopping, Japa, because if we move our head around and see all the nice scenery, greenery, all of that, then our mind has more options to go here and there. So even when we are doing Japa walk, that walk is not, we should not focus on the walk, we should focus on the Japa of the Japa walk. It is ultimately because while sitting, we may be feeling sleepy, or we may get into slumber Japa sometimes while sitting. Uh, that's the reason we are walking. We are not walking to just go on a walk and then do something.
To get some exercise while we are at it.
Yeah, we could get an exercise, and that's byproduct. But our focus is Japa, and so some devotees they look downwards, like so that they can they don't dash into something, but at the same time are also focusing on the ground, and that gives them takes them away from the distraction.
And window shopping japa is actually, it's actually browsing items. Like whether we are in the mall, you go around with your chanting, and then with your left hand, you're checking price tags. Oh, wow. Hare Krishna, okay, price tag this much. Or even on your smartphones, we are going and checking for prices. And so that's called window shopping, that you're totally actually doing something else. But as a side thing, you're also doing some chanting. So that is window shopping japa. So hope that answers your question.
And sometimes when we are walking in the greenery, we can still appreciate, oh Krishna, look, this is so wonderful. And in that mood can be going to japa Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You're so, I'm so thankful that you created such beautiful thing. Now let me offer it, my consciousness, to you in that way. So it all depends on what consciousness we are doing japa walk. What is the purpose of our japa walk? Window shopping japa, the purpose is window shopping, not japa. And by the way, we are finishing japa. But in japa walk, if we are saying our focus is japa, and by the way, we are walking also, then it's okay.
So we hope this answers your question, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Anjudi?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe.
I missed 2-3 days, as you know, that my daughter was not keeping well. But I will just, acknowledge you have been such a big driving force. Yes, day before yesterday when she was hospitalized, and I was just feeling like what to do, and I heard your session, and it was especially, and that day only you told the story of Srila Prabhupada when he was going on the thing and everything, and then the way Bhaiya said the full story, ki Krishna also tests you and all, just don't they worry. It was such a relaxation at that point. It was such a thing. I said, okay, fine. Like, she everything is just I just told Krishna, like, fully surrender to you, and it is I just don't know, nothing is in my hands, I'm also in your hands. And today again you said Krishna Tavasim, which I keep on saying, like, so much. I am yours and you are mine, like it is and still we get carried away, when the things come we just forget it. But I think the association is so wonderful. Like I said, whatever said and done, I have to, because this is just keeps me going in the morning. I just hear this and I says, okay, the thought process changes so much when we are carried away in the entire day in our material world or whatever we say. I understand, because वो होता है ना, एक माँ का दिल और जो भी है, आप हो जाते हो, अब दूर आप सोचते हो, पर वो सब ज्ञान सब कुछ मतलब वो चला जाता है, but this keeps on constantly reminding you so much. Thank you so much for this, your association, wonderful this. And yesterday, I was hearing and the question was answered also when Bhaiya was telling that story was so beautiful that, the breakfast, lunch, dinner, do you want that? Do you, like, will you give me? Will you give me? Like, it was knocking on my head. Like, I'm just asking Krishna. And I said, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Like, it was just a realization for me also. I'm so stupid. Like, I'm just telling, will you take care of her or something like that? I said, oh no, he is there. He will take care. And why you are asking? And why you are doing this, Anju? And I was just talking to myself and I said, yes. And after that, I felt so relaxed. So relaxed. Like, the things just turned, and the thing. And I just came to my puja, like, and I just surrender myself and bow down, and I just said, I'm really very, very sorry, like, for the thing. And you are there, and why should I just even worry also? And your lovely messages. And the devotees also, they're texting me. It was so touching. I don't remember, Mataji was texting, how's your daughter? It was so touching. I said, oh my God, this is
அப்பா
called like one
பூங்காவனத்தை
parivar.
கொஞ்சம் கூப்பிடுங்களேன், திரும்ப ஒரு எலி வந்திருக்குப்பா.
It was so beautiful.
ஆ?
It was so beautiful. Like,
பூங்காவனம்
really, really very, very grateful to everybody who has like such close association. And thank you so much. I can't see you. Hello.
You can't?
Yeah, now I can see you. There was another somebody on the screen.
Okay.
And actually, and thanks the thing after that day, one day I was saying, but now my counter is gone. And now all 16 rounds are on the beats. Since our Japa workshop after things. So one day I had done, that day I did mention, but now after that, like, I realized the thing, and now it is all just on the beats only. And after these 16 rounds, like I just, when I do 16 or 17 on beats, after that, if we can just say, like, now we are saying we should not chant like, whatever, like slumber this, window this, but it keeps on going in our mind. So is it okay if we are doing our work?
Absolutely okay. Absolutely okay.
That time
You
we
know,
are just,
yes, it's about, when we are doing our 16 rounds, our prescribed number of rounds, if we are doing this kind of japa, that's, like wantingly we are doing this kind of japa. But when the japa is anyways coming in our mind when we are doing our shopping, It's always there in the back of our mind, or we are counting in the back of our mind. That's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay.
So are we supposed to count those things or no? It is just like that. We just keep on saying.
You could. Many devotees keep a counter to just keep a track of how many extra rounds they are doing. You could keep a counter if you can.
Okay.
It's nice to keep a
If we
count.
don't do it, then it's
That's
okay.
okay too. That's okay.
Okay, fine.
That's
So,
okay.
like I was just getting little confused on that because previously I used to keep a counter and I used to count and it used to go like, but now I have stopped the counter because I was just saying it was like, it was just a thing. Now I just go make a habit. No, I have to do on Tulsi beads. So I just kept the counter at the side. Otherwise, you just find an easy way out. And then, now you are more focused, more devoted and more thing. And one more thing, when we are counting also, when we are doing our prescribed round of rounds, so is it okay to look at the Krishna's picture or something like sometimes like you're just not to get your mind back and all. I look at the picture and suddenly I feel I look at Krishna's picture and I say, okay, I'm doing for Krishna. I feel more connected. So and so is it fine?
Anything that helps you in hearing the holy name, you can do that. But make sure that it is helping you hear and not taking you
Yeah.
away from hearing. That's all.
And always, if it is going, always bring it back. Going, bring it back.
Bring
That's
it back. So,
So
yeah,
if
so
looking at a
that's very,
picture,
very helpful.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Like, you are like, my वो ना भगवान जी नहीं है ना तो वो आपके थ्रू बोलते हैं so he's just talking to me via you, and thank you so much for your prayers, for your everything.
We
I
are
am like
continuing to pray every day for your entire family. For your entire family. We are praying.
so grateful, deep gratitude from the bottom of my heart, and thank you from everybody's side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you so much. We love you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Nandini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I am doing my japa very well, Mataji, than before.
Hari Bol.
Hey,
Very, very
congratulations.
nice. So happy for you.
Thank you for your sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please
Thank
pray
you.
for us also when you're chanting.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yes.
Day before yesterday, when I was chanting, I was really excited and very enthusiastically chanting that Krishna is standing before me. And I was like dancing and chanting day before yesterday. But today I did not get that excitement and enthusiasm, Prabhuji. Why is it so?
Well, what is more important is, did Krishna like your struggle during chanting? More important than how we felt, our goal of chanting is how Krishna is feeling. And Krishna is happy, even if we are not able to focus on the holy name or not getting anything, but are we struggling to bring our mind back to chanting, back to hearing the holy name, back to feelingly reaching out as much as possible? And if we are not having that feeling, we are acting that feeling to pray that please give me the real feeling. How much are we doing that? That is pleasing Krishna. So as long as we are doing that, sometimes by doing what we just said may give us happiness, sometimes it may not, because as we said, in the stage of bhajana kriya, there are 5 stages. Utsahamai, ghanatarala. Ghanatarala means sometimes the tide will be high, sometimes will be low, sometimes utsaha, sometimes enthusiasm will be there, sometimes will not be there. This is all common in the stage of bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti. So don't worry about those things. Don't worry about what we are feeling. Worry about, did I make Krishna happy by my struggle during chanting? Would Krishna be happy? Not will I be happy. Because if Krishna is happy, then we will automatically get happy. But even if our mind is not happy, but Krishna is happy, our soul will be happy, which we are not able to realize because of the stage of bhakti we are at. But the reason is because we are in the bhajan kriya anartha nivritti stage. But yeah, continue doing what you're doing. Continue trying to offering our feelings to Krishna while chanting. Feelings of love, feelings of helplessness, feeling of gratefulness. Then Krishna will be pleased.
And also, there's the pastime of Narada Muni. When Narada in his previous life, it is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam that how he was the son of a maid servant, and then his mother left her body, and then he was in the company of some Mahabhagavatas, and he was instructed in the science of Krishna consciousness by those great devotees. And Narada Muni, as a little boy, he started meditating on Krishna, and then Krishna appeared to him in his meditation, and Krishna spoke to little Narada in previous life, and Krishna said that, my dear boy, you will not see me in this life, you will not see me anymore. This is the first and the last time you're seeing me, but I am giving you this vision now, but now this vision you will only get it next life. This is so that your attachment for me can keep growing. So that is why Narad Muni then continues to say, Srila Prabhupada says that when we sometimes feel the ecstasy in our chanting, it's like a drop of honey, on our tongue, little drop of honey on our tongue. And, when that honey, we taste, oh, we want more, we want more, we want more. And then Krishna takes it for some time. And then based on our eagerness, how much eager are we to again taste that same nectar, that honey? When will I get that taste? When will I get that taste? If we keep doing our sadhana in that mood, then Krishna will immediately give it. It's just that Krishna is increasing our eagerness by giving us one drop and keeping it back. And then again, after some time, he'll give us another drop. That increases our attachment. It increases our attachment. This is exactly what happens. It happened in the case of Narad Muni. Srimad Bhagavatam is the witness to that. So therefore, we have faith in this process, that what you are actually undergoing, Krishna has given you that taste. So now it is your eagerness. Don't become dejected. Oh, yesterday I got, today I didn't get. Krishna, you're so mean. Why you didn't give me now? No, we keep increasing our eagerness. We keep saying, Krishna, I really want to taste that. Please, please allow me to taste that. With that same eagerness, we try to keep chanting. With that same enthusiasm and with the patience, with tolerance, with faith, with that same determination, we keep going forward. And Krishna will definitely, he will reciprocate.
Hare Krishna, Haribol Mataji, Haribol. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. Mataji, then I have one clarification, Mataji, regarding Anju Mataji's question.
Yes.
I asked the same question with my Siksha Guruji. That is, when I do my japa, it is counted on beats. When I am doing other things and chanting the holy names, then what would be the count? What about the counting? I asked him. He replied that those will be counted by Krishna. Like that, he replied.
Of course, they will be counted by Krishna, but if you can count it.
But don't include, but those are extra rounds. Don't include them in your regular sadhana rounds. That's all.
And if you can count them, fine. If you cannot, it's perfectly fine. And what your Shiksha Guru said is correct. Yeah, Krishna will keep count of that. But yeah, just if you can, like there are many devotees who do 16 rounds on their beads. They do more than that, 16 rounds again with their counter while, doing some other activity in the sense like, just when they're cooking, they're also listening and they're keeping a count of their chanting. Things like that. So focused way when they're doing some work, they keep a count. So that can be done if it is possible. Otherwise, it's okay. No problem.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji, for enlightening me.
Hare Krishna. Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, my question was answered just some time back by both of you. Like, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Like how the difference of mode is there, all the days are not same. So how you said that drop of honey, because I was in a confusion. Most of the times, normally when I sit for the session of 16 rounds, but I'm doing what I'm doing daytime while other activities, I feel more connected and more engrossed while doing that japa rather than doing this japa. And after so many sessions of how not to do japa, I realize we have been doing that japa only. Actually, that is the fact. And I had one question, like we say we surrender, but do we actually surrender? Because I feel it is a selective term for us, because we do as per our mood and desires.
Yes.
But do we actually surrender, and what are the symptoms of surrender? Like at least something that we get to know, yes, we are, what we speak, we are doing. I have that thing, like, do we actually surrender?
Very good question. Do we actually surrender? Actually, surrender is not a event, a one-time event that now I surrender and now for eternity I'm surrendered. It's a moment-to-moment decision. I may be surrendered this moment. Next moment is another choice. Do I choose to surrender next moment also? Maybe I do. What about the next moment now? So it's a moment-to-moment choice to surrender. It's not one time, okay, now I'm surrendered. Now I can relax. And now I can do whatever I want because I said I'm surrendered. No, it's every moment. One moment we may be, one moment we may not be. And the symptom of surrender is, there are 6 symptoms of surrender, as it says, that anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjanam, that we engage in activities favorable for devotional service and disengage from activities unfavorable for devotional service. Rakshishyati iti vishvaso gopatritve varanam tatha, which means we have firm faith that Krishna will protect. Rakshishyati iti vishvaso. And that can happen only if we are doing the first two. If we are engaging and disengaging from sense gratification. Rakshishyati iti vishvaso gopatritve varanam tatha. We consider Krishna as our guardian. Atma nikshepa karpanyam. Atma nikshepa is surrendering everything. And karpanyam. Karpanyam means with humility. These are the 6 symptoms. Shadvidha sharanagati. These are the 6 symptoms of sharanagati, or taking shelter or surrender. So every moment, if we see that at our level, actually we should focus on the first 2. Then the others will automatically come. Am I engaging in what I'm doing right now, what I'm thinking, what I'm speaking, what I'm acting? Is that favorable for devotional service? Am I disengaging from things unfavorable? If so, yes, I'm surrendered. That is a simple thing at our level. Then slowly, Rakshishyati iti vishvaso, Krishna will definitely protect from Maya and from all other situations. All of these things will automatically come in. So every moment we have that choice.
Yeah, I got it, Prabhuji. One more thing I wanted to know, like, sometimes I am not able to complete my 16 rounds, so I follow it the next day. Days are all different. The start is different. So do we have to keep that guilt that I have not done? Because I feel like living in fear, I have done, I have not done, is not right. But am I wrong over here? Like, if suppose I've not done today, I continue tomorrow, or maybe that 16 is extended for 3 days. Not intentionally, it happens, and I'm not in a mood to sit and do japa. I feel I'll be cheating myself by sitting that time. So do I have to fear that moment of 3 days that I've not done my japa, or am I okay? Because otherwise also I feel normally I'm doing better than sitting and doing with the beats. So am I wrong over here, or is my understanding wrong?
You see, one statement that you made, that today I'm not feeling like chanting, therefore I don't chant. And that's why it's okay, for me to, if I'm not feeling like it, then better than, doing, improper rounds, it's better for me to not chant. That's not a good idea.
That's not a good
Because,
idea.
no, it's not a good idea, because we are chanting for the pleasure of Krishna. We are chanting as instructions given by Srila Prabhupada, instructions given by our spiritual masters. So we are not chanting for us to feel nice. We are chanting so that Krishna and Srila Prabhupada would feel nice. That is the purpose of our chanting. Whether we feel nice or not, that's secondary or even thirdly. It's not even sometimes into consideration also. Because in the initial days of our spiritual life, when we are in, the stages of Shraddha, this Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, these stages, we are in a diseased condition. How will, what is the cure for jaundice? You would know. Sugarcane juice is the cure for jaundice. But how does a person who is affected with jaundice, how do they taste the sugarcane juice? It's bitter.
Bitter, right.
It's bitter. But that is the medicine. Even though it is bitter, they have been advised to just drink sugarcane juice, even though it is bitter. They don't like it. Who likes to take something bitter? Nobody likes it. So we may not feel like chanting. That's the situation that we all are in. At least I can say I'm in. I don't feel like chanting every day, but I want to do it because my Guru Maharaj has told me to do it.
Okay.
To do it.
I was confused with that point. Like, I don't feel like sitting and doing it. So why do I want to play a fake? Like, I was
no, but then what is the guarantee? What is the guarantee that, okay, if we are thinking that, okay, because I'm not feeling good today, that I will feel good tomorrow.
Okay.
I will still have 24 hours tomorrow also. I will not have 48
I got it,
hours
Mataji. Yeah. Means I should make it a point that whatever my mind state is, I should sit for japa. Maybe my day will get better.
Yes.
I got it, Mataji. Yes.
And
Thank you
one
so
thing
much.
that you can also think of is that it doesn't take much bhakti to chant when our mind is feeling like it.
Okay.
Mind is feeling, but when the mind is not feeling and still we chant, that requires bhakti. That means we are a devotee. That means we are having the power of bhakti. That our mind is not saying, still I'm chanting for Krishna's pleasure.
This was bullseye. This was bullseye, Prabhuji. Like, yeah, I was still wondering, after so many sessions, Kare, we have been doing this japa only, all this japa combined, collective. And up till now, though, it was that. Thank you so much. Really, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I've come up to ask you all now. That is a big difference in me. So I just keep listening people and all. I said, no, let me start asking my own questions. Thank you so much, both of you.
Question, and I'm sure that it has definitely helped us for sure, and I'm sure that it would have definitely helped.
I now related that point that sometimes we are thrown a challenge that you can't do this task, but we put all our effort to complete it.
Yes.
And why not try it in the japa time? Like, why do I go on my feelings? Like, thank you so much.
We see that sometimes when we are having a headache, we don't feel like cooking that particular day, but being the lady of the house, if we don't cook, then everyone would go hungry. So even though our health is not supporting us, we are not feeling like it, we still go and make some rice, some dal, something we make, and we just have some food on the table for the family.
Yeah, true, Mataji, very true. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
And even after putting all your efforts, wanting to chant, even when you're not feeling like, still due to some reason you're not able to, move on. In the next day when you sit chanting, don't think about, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Think about what I can do in this moment right now. What is the best thing I can do? So you're right, don't feel guilty, but don't do activities that will make you feel guilty as well.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I got my point. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Prabhuji, sorry to interfere, but I did not understand the last part, what Prabhuji explained. Prabhuji, can you please explain once again about bhakti? Like if you have bhakti, that part I did not understand. Sorry to interfere, but if you can explain that.
Yeah, thank you. What I was saying is that if our mind is feeling like chanting, anyone can chant. Anyone can chant the wave when it is up. But to chant when our mind is not feeling like chanting, that requires bhakti. That requires devotion. That requires determination. Then that is the time when we can actually show Krishna. We should be thankful. Mind, you're not feeling. Now you've given me an opportunity to show Krishna that I still will follow your orders, your instructions. I still will, and then Krishna will be so much pleased. This will, what I mean by saying this takes bhakti is that this takes the desire to please Krishna. That Krishna, look, this, you've given me an opportunity. If I chant when my mind is not feeling like, I'll get more brownie points in one sense, in short, meaning Krishna will be more pleased. But look, their mind was not feeling, still he is chanting, still she is chanting. So wonderful. That will please Krishna more, actually, because of the struggle that we are taking. And he'll say, this is my devotee.
That's the sincerity that Krishna seeks.
So that's an opportunity to please Krishna more. And if our mind is not feeling like chanting, that is actually a symptom that we need the medicine. That means that is a symptom of a disease, that we don't have the taste for chanting. That means we all the more need the medicine, which is what? Chanting. If our symptoms are increasing, we need to take more dose of medicine, even though it is bitter. So we go ahead and take that medicine of chanting.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And a couple days ago, you were saying about while you are moving your bead, like in Hare Krishna, Krishna is dancing, like you dance the bead, and in Hare Ram. So since then, if my mind goes somewhere while chanting, I do that, and that is really very helpful. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
All
And
glory to Srila Prabhupada.
That is a gift from Srila Prabhupada to one of his disciples.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Girish Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my daughter is she know all the slokas, more than 100, but she is not chanting. She is asking the question. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, beta.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes, what is your question?
Yeah, she knows the slokas, all the slokas, but she is not chanting, Prabhuji. She is 6 years old.
Okay. Wonderful. It's very nice that she's reciting the shlokas and doing all these things. If you can chant even one round, that will be very nice.
You can sit with Daddy and chant. Would you like to do that?
I will do, Mataji. I will do.
Okay, wonderful.
She wanted to tell slokas, Mataji.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, please tell us one shloka.
Pragyabadam tabasasa katasuna gatasam nanu sauchanti pandita. Thank you. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre gurukshetre samavetayustavaha namuka pandavashchaivam kimma kurvata sanjayaham sanjay uvacha jijvata pandavanekam yudam duryodhanasthuta आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनम् अब्रवी पश्येतं पाण्डुपुत्राणां आचार्यं च यूढं द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता.
Wow, can you tell us how many shlokas you know? How many shlokas do you know?
Samayudi Yidano Viratashcha Dupadashcha Maharata.
Bas.
Wow.
How many shlokas do you know?
Yeah. She knows all the slokas, Mataji, but she is not doing chanting, Mataji.
It's okay. Just if you set a good example, which you are doing, and you continue chanting, when she sees you chanting, she will eventually want to come. Don't force her. If she is whenever she feels like, whatever devotional service she feels like doing, encourage her in that. If we force, then it becomes then they may never chant later. But if you encourage her in whatever kind of devotional service she wants to engage in, and you set an example of sitting and chanting very nicely in front of her, eventually Krishna will definitely attract to the chanting of the holy names as well. But I'm sure you are setting a good example. I'm just saying, if you continue doing that, then she will be attracted. Encourage her, ask her what she likes. She likes prasadam, that's wonderful. She likes to sing and dance, that's wonderful.
Very nice. Very
Very
nice.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Beta. Hari Bol. Okay, any more questions or comments?
If not, we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Namo Namah.
Hare Krishna. Shloka Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you all so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Mataji and
Mataji.
Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Jai
Krishna
Shri
Mataji
Radhe.
Prabhuji.